I usually shred boxes live, but this time I'm going vaguely post-produced. Blokees reached out to me and asked if I'd be down to open up their 4th wave of licensed Transformers G1 minifigures, so here we are with Transformers Galaxy version 4. Blind packed in boxes of 9, you're all but guaranteed a full set in a sealed box, with a chance of one certain figure being a special chase variant. In this case, that'd be Shockwave. Anyway, the rest of this is a little raw, with a few post-production tricks to pick out if you've got a keen enough eye, and don't run me in a background tab. You're not falling asleep to... Anyway, I'm gonna open these up. It goes without saying that these little boxes are ridiculously chromatic. I'm sure you got that impression already during the intro, but let me just spin this around to, I don't know, fuse a bunch of your neurons together. It's kind of amazing. It's also, you know, hey, look at Shockwave, it's Nemesis Prime. It's all of your options. A 1 in 9 chance for everybody except for Shockwave, who's a 1 in 12, because Shockwave's secret version's a 1 in 36, and it's a box of 9. The math, I'm sure, works. I forgot how a lot of ratio math works. Let's get this open. I'm just gonna rip one. This is from the bottom right, and it's glued hard shut. Cheating. Or efficiency. One or the other. So let's see who's in number 1. This looks Ultra Magnus Core. I was wrong, it's Smokescreen. Kind of enjoying the collectible trading cards circles, the collectible trading pogs. So I assume this will contain the body, or the sprues, or both? I haven't put one of these little things together before, but this is a bigger base than I was expecting, and there's less internal body than I was expecting. Pelvis. Crotch. Okay, we can form. Groin. There's like a t-shirt in here somewhere. I found the ass. Full pelvis. Gattai. This is a leg. I don't see any left-right markings sticking out to me, so I'm just gonna slam it in there. I found the other one. I'm gonna slam it in there. So I think I need some of these joint bits now. Okay, by the way, there's a second set of these, so I assume these are the elbows and knees. And then if I plug in one of these bits, I don't know what this, like, there's like some film on this. It might just be like from how quickly these were put into bags. Everything kind of clicks together too. No need for clippers either so far. Like, a lot of this mold flash is not even what I would call flash worth filing, really. I mean, you can do however much cleanup you want, but I'm not seeing much call for, like, heavy, like, gunpla technique in here. So I just popped this up, because I think that there are knee joints and elbow joints, and I think each sprue comes with one knee joint and one elbow joint. As you can see, this one's offset, so that must be for an elbow. Get out of there. It wasn't offset, I put it together the wrong way around. Get back in there. These clear things came spilling out when I opened the bags, so be careful. They're not on sprues, but they appear to be the bits you stick in for ankle joints, and I believe are also the bits you stick in for neck. I think you gotta really push these in, though. Yeah, I pushed this down on the table, and there was a sort of audible and physical click. Appears to be a foot. I feel like I should be checking the box picture just in case I'm missing something, but no, he seems to just have that kind of trouser leg look. That and I think there's a panel that goes on the front here. I found the panel that goes on the front here, so this clips onto the internal cylinder for the full Datsun style. This is also clearing a lot of pieces out of the way, because I still haven't found anything from the upper body. Well, anything that, like, is discernibly the little t-shirt that goes inside. The t-shirt that goes inside is dark gray and was staring at me the entire time! Also from the sprues, each one I think comes with what appears to be the shoulder joint. If I'm looking at this correctly, that is completely and utterly the shoulder joint. 3 connection points, but I could just rip and peel that out of the frame, so that's nice to know. Running out of option parts here, so it's got to start making sense. This appears to be the shoulder. Yep, that clicks in. So then we'll stick in an elbow / knee, because they are the same. You just have to put them together the right way around. And then what is the forearm if not the thing at the bottom of the arm? It's also this piece here. And now we've got the semblance of a little guy. So if I am correct, then this should bracket into here. And the boob should go here. But then we still have this nice shoulder rotation. Doors! Doors! Emoting. Sprue of hands, by the way. We'll just go for hold fists for the moment, but there are also splayed hands. I'll just pull them all out of the frame. Why did I even say I was going for one before the others? I don't know, because I thought I had some order here. But hey, it all fits in regardless. Nice little click pops. I was wondering what these shoulder ball sockets were for. Demonstrably, the smokescreen thing. Only these ones can articulate a little bit. That's cool. And there's a gun. It fits in here. Less parts now at the bottom. This third thing that was an ankle, one of them can also serve as the neck joint. Then I assume we stick in this funny looking thing in here. Yeah, that's pretty cursed. I was wondering what these were. These are clearly, now that I can see it, meant to go on the shoulders as extra blocks of mass. Do they go just like this? I guess so. I was wondering if the cut was to go in here, but it doesn't look like that is how these mount. I think these just go on like this. Oh, the cut is for outward shoulder motion. Okay. Yeah, I think... yeah, okay. Then we just gotta make sure this guy has a hat. There is... oh, how do I put this on? There's a hat! It's Smokescreen! Smokescreen! It's also this, like, Autobot Decepticon symbol thingy. I'm guessing this goes into here? Nope, I don't know where this goes. He's done! He's holding his little Autobot symbol. It's a Decepticon symbol on the back. You actually get a second one, because it's off of the sprue. So here's, look at that, look at that. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. You also get a second, well, a second. You also have a fourth one of these ankle necks, so, you know, a spare one. And then there's a pair of hands. He's stuck onto his friendly Blokees base. And none of these little bits seem to peg into the base, which was a bit disappointing. I saw all these holes everywhere, and I thought, like, oh hell yeah, here we go. They're all bigger. They're all bigger. Unless I'm supposed to stick the ball in. No, it just goes all the way through. So it's not Sodo. These things don't really stick in here. I'm a little confused as to what these are other than cute. But hey, you know, maybe if you use this as the outside of the forearm, you can stick one in and say, like, it's a communication signal. Is neat. I don't know what it's for. Let's hit another one. This looks very Snarl coded. Kind of a similar array of joint parts, though. It's always two of these. It's Dino Snarl, so that's a whole lot of this side of the instructions, which do note that you use a lot of the same, like, robot bits and, like, the chest and everything anyway. This stuff is, like, embossed, by the way. It's very textured on there. But yeah, you are building still the little Lego-like, block system-like minifigure torso. Although, in this case, there is a lack of any of those clear ankle and neck parts. I think because this is going to end up, you know, rather buried back there. But regardless, you still have a bunch of Snarl torso to build up around it. But then, once you get past sandwiching all that together, and you have everything nicely lined up and not crooked with the sticky outy bits, then you got one of these. You take this big old spine piece and stick on these, I'm not going to say little old, but maybe I'll say little old spine pieces. like that. And then do the same on the other side, which absolutely did not take me an embarrassing amount of time to align and get all in place with everything else. Stick on this slat of back, and then we take the robot torso, and I think it matters which way it goes in, and then this becomes the head, I guess. Which way is this going in? This is going in this way, right? Right? No, it's the other way. This becomes the robot head, and that's kind of interesting how it is not transforming, you know, in any way, shape, or form. It's absolutely not transforming, but it, like, resembles transforming, I guess. Something endearing about that. Am I sticking these all on the wrong way every time? No, this is going on the right way. There we go. So this one is the weird one. It's my impression is that this is not the first time either. That this is sort of like the tradition so far, or at least the pattern and habit of the Galaxy series, or Galaxy version Blokees series is to have like a Dinobot in both modes, who is one of the weird ones the first time through. Is this just going on to the arm joints? No, it's not. It's the other way around. Okay. So you gotta make sure you have that teeth-looking bit there matched up with the stego plates. If you don't, then you cut out at least 20 seconds of footage of you trying to figure out why it's not going together. Tail halves merge, merged tail ram into dino anus. And these kind of work like the arms and, or elbows and knees, I should say, only you're using those joints for these little bits. And there is a guide in the instructions as to which one is which side, because, you know, they're not human pieces. They've got certain quadrupedal orientations that you have to take into account, but it all still clicks together nicely, like on Smokescreen, and then you can have them, you know, go out like that. In place of any of those little clear bits, there's just a ball stick right there on the dino foot. So I am assuming that, okay, it looks like we want the peg on the outside on these. I don't know if that actually matters, but I'm going by the line art. I'm respecting the design intent, baby. And this is actually some of the robot leg bits. But it's going to bulk out because we got these hunks here that are just getting jammed on top, nice and clippy style. And we're taking all that, popping it onto what would have been the shoulder joint, but now is the rear leg joint. Ain't that mess? But that's like the part that becomes the arm anyway. There might, oh wait, this actually, is this just the robot arms? That's sort of neat. Flame effect parts or whatever that this figure does not come with. You're already getting plenty of hunky plastic assembly. Is this in? Is this in? No, it's not in. You're already getting plenty of hunky plastic assembly. That is just how far in it goes. It doesn't feel like it's clipped on all the way. It kind of comes off a little bit easily. This allows it to have some wiggle room for emotive action. I wish it made a nice click like the rest of this, though. Also, he comes with a stand. Can I use this? Do any of the feet line up enough to make this worth it? Do the front feet even attach to this? No, it's going to be the back feet. Right? There we go. So you can get one foot on there. And then you can just have him dancing. And it's pretty much canonical to his G1 appearance. These bases can also merge together with some interlinked teeth. You gotta do them, like, top down like this. And it is hell of tight when they go together. Like this, the plastic flexes when I try to take them back apart. So if you link all the bases together side by side, it's not going to be going anywhere. You will have made a long stick of base that I kind of doubt will come apart. So that's kind of cool. Granted, Snarl is the, you know, least play-friendly of the bunch with the base, but if you get 1 foot on there, then you're good to go. And now you got 2 robots on a base! Let's get another one out. Ha-ta! Oh, look at that. I just punched right through the bottom with my sheer force of will. That's what it was. That sheer force of will, in fact, is going to just slam these together to... Whoa, it's a bunch of Ultra Magnus-shaped pieces! And I assume an Energon cube. Yeah, it's him. So the sprues on this one are a new color. It's white. White fist, but also white joints. Let's just get these all enjointed together. Gotta get the fiddly work done first. That way you can just settle into a nice bout of popping fists and slapping pieces together. Now, I'm assuming Ultra Magnus is mostly going to run the same, with lots of, you know, equipping a little torso. Actually, according to the instructions, we don't use these outer shoulder bits, because the torso has its own stick-outy shoulder bits. I'm assuming because Ultra Magnus is a wide boy. Wide enough to have his own special Tampa-graphed inner boob windows for his big old Magnus chest. So this all will clip on to the front of this. There's like literally a matrix chamber and or matrix right there if you want to peel it open, have a look inside. A lot of this is the shame old spiel of getting all these leggy bits together. But then you've got the clip-on parts here, which are slightly asymmetrical. And once you clip on the clip-on parts, you got to clip on some more clip-on parts. By that I mean peg in some peg-in parts. Get these kneecappy things out and stick them on here so it looks like he's got even more truck on him. Deal with it! The arms also are going to have some bulking. There's also asymmetrical decos on here. Tampography things on the shoulder outer plates, boxes. And I put the other hand on, so he can be all like this. Anyway, to bulkin these out some more, you got to grab these stacky things, take a missile, clip it inside, and then jam this on top. Oh, there it is! That's that clicky hand feel. That's that audible kerpop. And then, yeah, now you've got a properly Robert stacked shoulder. Ugh! Finally, we're making a little eyeball skull sandwich here to jam Ultra Magnus's optics into his eyes. They've been pre-ripped out. That never happened in the movie. I'm just putting a bunch of different Transformers the movie words together because that's what the punters like. We're putting a helmet together. I put it on backwards. That's the back of his head sticking out the front of his face. Don't let that happen to you. That's real embarrassing. Now put his helmet together. Now we jam this tab and peg into the hole and slot. We got the head of Ultra Magnus. We stick it on his body. Much like a Junkion, we've just brought him to life. He has a gun. It's right here. Pew pew, I'm a city commander. It's kind of cool, the 3 wildly disparate body shapes and sizes out of the first 3 I opened. I'm not sure if that was on purpose the way these are collated. I don't think that's possible. But, like, yeah, the different height levels, the straight up one of them is Snarl's Dino mode. It's kind of cool. I don't really know what to do with this thing, but it looks nice. The color's gorgeous. Can I fit it on his head? Not really. Pulling from the center of the center, what's in the middle of the middle? The center of the 9 block. What lies at the heart of this Sudoku puzzle? It is Alpha Bravo's Bane, its Scrapper. What's kind of cool is, number 1, he's got very husky shoulder pads. And those husky shoulder pads have room for a completely separate wheel component. So the wheels technically can spin a little. Also, the back of his little torso has some of that embossed tampagraphing outside of the usual, because you actually will see that on his spine, unless those are his abs, in which case, now that I'm looking at how this guy goes together, those are his abs. That means some of that stuff gets covered up. So, sadness, say goodbye to those, that grill 4-pack but continue to say hello to those little yellow stripies down there. Really would have been able to see all of it over there, but according to the instructions that I'm only just now looking at, that's where it's supposed to go. There's also these hunks that go on the legs, as per usual, but these hunks also have room for a wheel to live on, which is kind of neat. Also, they're very painted. The overall delivery on these Blokees, I guess you could call them minifigures. They certainly are not mini, but the delivery on them is really solid hand feel, very punchy tampagraphs. You even get, like, you know, dedicated assemblies like these for the sake of funny gimmicks, like Scrapper's big scrappin' backpack. It actually can articulate up and down once you do that. So, you know, superfluous but fun. You can move the wheels up there, you can move the wheels down here. He's got another optic block as well. So, there's no, you know, there's no paint app stuff going on with the eyes. There's just a hunk. You could go in and glitz that up with some chromatic paint if you so desired. But I just like this bold, flashy flatness on the crimson. Also, these sprues are in Constructicon green, so you get the weird little insignia thingies in Constructicon green, both sides. And the Constructicons were actually one of the things that really drew my eye to these Blokees series, and I was like, well, they're never going to do all 6 of them, and, you know, now they, I believe, have, so I guess I can eat it and go track down the last 3 boxes of these things. Well, I mean, the 2 boxes that have Constructicons in them, but at that point, like, why wouldn't I just be doing completionism? Regardless, let's see what was on the left of center. Get out! Shockwave? Is it the chase version? No. This would have been translucent, and I think this would have all been very glossy. Nonetheless, Shockwave is cool. The chase version, I don't think, has any unique tooled parts, like I believe the Soundwave had and some other one. Anyway, there's still some unique stuff going on here with Shockwave, not just, you know, clipping the leg bits on for that instant gratification, but also, like, his head comes together in a kind of unique way. There's a little, you know, optic peg. You stick this bit on, that's pretty clearly Shockwave, but then according to the instructions, you shove this, you know, Shockwave set of ears into place. Then they don't seem to interact with the tab here on the back of the optic. Oh, that just went through even more. Look, it's sticking out now. Maybe this will go in easier than I thought. Oh yeah, that feels way better. It was way more loosey-goosey before all of that happened. And then there's like a neck cup here on the bottom. So we just cap the back of this to finish up the Emperata. And also I wanted to show that there was yet another set of embossed, soon-to-be-hidden abdominals on Shockwave. Again, with the flanks still kind of showing through on the bottom. But what's kind of cool about this is... Did I miss any pieces? No. Alright, so you get a boob window piece that's tampagraphed. And I just think that's neat. Give me tampagraphed boob windows. Also, there's a whole backpack assembly. This part just goes in here, but then you got a whole other hunk, what pegs into the bottom. And then you get this knotted cable. So this is a whole separate piece. If this, you know, falls apart or looks funny, then you could always replace it with, you know, slightly nicer cabling. This plugs into the hole here. Feels like I'm actually threading a needle. Oh, there we go, it's slipped in. And then over here, on the hole on the outside, what I kind of am digging, by the way. Oh, no, it's not the hole on the outside. We'll get to it. We'll get to it right now. Because this plugs in where a hand would go. So I thought it was the hole on the outside. I was mistaken. It goes into the bottom of the gun. That's much more snug. The holes on the outsides maybe are still supposed to be on the insides. I could switch that really quickly. Hi-ta! Now the holes are on the insides. I assumed those holes were going to go with that wire, but I hadn't tested anything, so hey, it's still nice and clean. In addition to the usual hands, You also get the shock hand, which I think is kind of cute, so he can just be going like, you know, you saw. But then also, for a gun, like, little cherry on top here, it's two pieces that go together, you get a little shock pistol so that you can do the classic, as they might say. Have Shockwave hold Shockwave, so he can shoot shocks and waves at people himself. He also comes with the full set of hands, so you could just swap the gun hand out for, like, this absolutely reasonable scene here. Ignore the dangling gun. So, hey, this Shockwave feels like a very loved piece, even though there is a chase version. If anyone knows more about the chase version, drop in the comments. Let me know. I might have already found out, but you'll be letting viewers know. And viewers are you. As is the next one of these that I'm going to crack open, just like, yeah! Oh, hey, it's Tarn, and he's so excited and ready to go. There's a couple interesting things here on the leader of the DJD, aside from, once again, these highly painted front of leg pieces, and as you can see, like a little bit more embossed abdominal paintwork on the little, the mini inner joint. There's also this just straight up dedicated pink plank that goes into here to fill that in and pump it up with some bio lighting. And you just slap that right on top of this. Also, how do these arms work? It's kind of Magnus style. This doesn't go on there. Instead, you stick this on there, then you pop the arm into that half-tread hunk, and then attach this beefier half-tread hunk on top. And through the illusion of mass, now we've got a hunky DJD leader. But he ain't done yet. There's also extra backpack to slap on the back here. It's rotatable, so you can have this point upwards, and there's a different plug-in spot in here for the guns, so I think if you put them in the other peg hole, then they can do like a little bit more. Oh, they're bumping into this stuff. I'm not really 100% sure, but there's two different peg-in spots for them. And the Visage of Tarn is a somewhat unique head assembly from what I've seen so far, in that you're popping these two things together to form, you know, his hidden face, as seen in the comic books. It is kind of cool that the mask is a separate piece. So, I don't know, maybe someday someone could make a little face that could stick in there in place of the mask. Either way, you got yourself the leader of the DJD, no extra weapons or anything, just a whole lot of mass, a couple extra fists, and really dark pieces. Also, he comes with the extra neck / ankle piece, as they all do, and then like Ultra Magnus, you just have a couple extra shoulder joints left over. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Oh, when you cracked open Tarn's box, that must have been some post-production. No way you could crack open like a literal, you know, cardboard box. Well, fool, check this out. No cuts. Reaching back here for one more of them, and with nothing more than my human strength. There we go, another one. Absolutely not post-produced, and if you think that it was, you're unethical and should go to moral jail. I wonder who's in here, by the way. It looks like it's gonna be Hook. This dude has a couple of his own very unique things, other than, you know, once again, let's see those abs before they disappear forever. His head goes together in a very unique way, where the face actually slots into the eyes. So, ostensibly, I'm going to pull these eyes off because this is easier. The eyes connect to the face, so there could be, like, different facial expressions, hypothetically, sometime in the future. There are none with this one. Simply, the engineering exists that could, you know, allow for it. Once we get his little blockhead together, that is to say, once we get his little blockhead together, I can also show you that the wheel pieces are a separate bit that goes on the shoulder pads. He has asymmetrical leg covers because of the nature of Hook's transformation design. And on the back, once again, to follow the nature of that design, you get a literal hook that you can hook into here. You can have it articulate a little bit, and then ball socket joint that in. That means this is like a workable piece of articulation. He's like a ad mech. I think that's pretty friggin' cool. The Constructicons are what I really wanted out of this line, and I think I'm gonna do my utmost over, a casual, reasonable amount of time to grab the other 4, which is to say, like I said before, I'm probably just gonna get the rest of these sets FML. But we got 2 boxes left. Who dwells within? One could probably easily ascertain that by looking at the list, but we're not here for logic, we're here for the Daily Doubler! Ha-ta! Alright, crack them both open. We've got Classic Rivalry, Faceless Dinobot versus Evil Scourge. So Robot Snarl is, as you expect, looking a lot like a bipedal version of the other Snarl, but he's got some interesting things, like the plates that plug in a very specific way into his front leg covers. Of course, there's some abdominal detail that will be mostly obscured once again. And then the way his head works is an eyepiece that the back of the helmet plugs into, and then your face goes in over top of that, and then the front of the helmet goes on top of that. So there's a whole bunch of layered plastic there, which I think is pretty cool. Also, this pose is so Action Master core, it's making me so happy. That's what these things are really clicking with me, the way Combiner Wars oddly did. Also, these 2 pieces go in sort of slanted when they tab. They feel weird when you tab them in, but they are meant to be sort of dipped back. But this is so Action Master core in a way I really like. I liked how Combiner Wars Deluxes all sort of had a very similar body silhouette, and obviously so do these Blokees. Here is Nemesis Prime. Once again, I just want to show you the abs before they disappear. His are going to stick around a little bit better, though, because of just the nature of an Optimus Prime. There's even a little back cover, just so you can have, it's not Sideswipe's jetpack. It's just a plate that lives back there. And then the Optimus hat is a single piece that goes over a single face piece. Nemesis Prime, though, is really packing some Power of the Primes homages, from the sword to the fact that you actually want the holes on the outsides of his forearms this time, because he's got whole-ass arm cannons, and I say cannons because he's got 2 of them. So this dude is heavily friggin' armed, and I kind of love it. So just a wee addendum, I had this backpack piece flipped upside down with these tabbed in the wrong side, so I just pulled them out, put this one over there, that one over there, flip it the right way, it should go in properly and snugly now. Also, I didn't mention this, but these tail pieces are literally the ones from the dinosaur version. You can see they're designed to either peg together in unison with a big thick peg, or their thick peg splits with 2 half-circle slots with tabs interwoven to work into the backpack. It's like cost-saving in that they produce kind of 1.5 part sets for 2 different figures when it comes to the Dinobots. At least from what I've seen of this one and the other ones. Well, that's Blokees Transformers Galaxy version 4, and yes, you can see back there that I clocked Tarn's backpack as a double fusion cannon to peg onto his forearm. Thanks to Blokees for sending these over alongside Action Edition Optimus Prime, whose box I'll be shredding sooner than later. There'll probably be some jump cut edits in there too. Did you spot everyone in this video?